Hey everybody, it's Wednesday night and I've had a busy day. I'm just now getting down here into the fish room for the evening. It's almost 8 o'clock, so I've got to get everybody fed and I've got a couple water changes I want to get done, but I did want to do a quick update. I got some snails today from one of my viewers. I traded them some plants. As usual, I've always got lots of water sprite and some Java fern right now, so if you're interested in any plants, check out my email below, hit me up, and we can talk about getting some plants shipped over to you. In the meantime, I traded some plants with one of my viewers for some mystery snails. I got some really cool blue ones. So when I got them, it kind of occurred to me that I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them. Most of my tanks have either loaches or crayfish or puffers or something in them that will eat snails. So this tank already has a black one and a white one, and now it has two blue ones, and I don't know where the other one is. I've been looking for it, but I can't find it. I was a little concerned when I got home today. I checked the mailbox, and even though my mailbox is not in direct sunlight, it was still pretty warm. And I was kind of worried that I was going to have a bag full of dead snails in there. And when I opened it up, it turned out that everybody was fine. I got 5 of them. So 2 of them went in that tank. And 2 of them are right here on the glass. And a third one is somewhere hiding in this tank. This is my 40-gallon T-bar tank. I'm sorry, my 40-gallon Black Ghost knife fish tank. The tank we were just looking at was my T-bar tank. So I put 3 of them in here. All 3 of them were doing well. You see that little bit of white debris? That's been kind of shedding out of their shells. You can see a tiny little bit of it down below them right there. So I don't know what kind of substrate they were kept in before they got shipped to me, but I'm assuming it was some kind of fine white granular substrate. So I've got 3 of them in here, 2 of them in the other tank. Everybody's doing well, and those are about the only tanks I can really get away with putting them in. I've got my gudgeon tank I could probably put some snails in, but right now I don't have any more, nor do I really particularly want any more at the moment. So I'm happy with what I got. I really like these blue ones. They're pretty cool looking. So on the agenda for this evening, I'm going to get back on with it. This tank is getting not only a water change and the glass wipes down, but I want to check out what's going on with the filter. I don't know if you can hear the gurgling noise or not, or see the little bit of air bubbles that are on the tips of these leaves that is not purling. What is going on is my surface skimmer, which for a long time did not even work in this tank. I don't know why, but it just would not draw water through it no matter what. And now it's drawing water to the point where it's actually sucking air down in there, and I'm spitting little air bubbles out into the tank, and I'm going to get back in there and figure out what's going on. I suspect that the intake that's very close to the bottom in the back there has probably just got debris stuck to it and maybe some roots from the Java fern growing up into it, and that will be enough to restrict the water flow through the main tubing, and that would sort of force the water to suck in through that secondary tubing at the surface skimmer, therefore causing me that, additional air being sucked down in there with it. So that's on the agenda. I might try to get in here and do a water change. It doesn't particularly need a water change, but wiping the glass down wouldn't hurt. I still haven't got in there and cut back the remains of the flowers that have long since passed their prime and have done, their little bit of flowering thing. So I need to get in there and deadhead those. And then lastly, just a sort of a bonus little update. Ba-ba, look at all them fish. I am happy to say, knocking on wood, I have not lost a single one of those Rosyside Dace since I've put them in this tank. I'm really happy with them. I got a lot of fish in here, but it looks awesome. The Rosyside Dace look great. And I will say, on a side note, when I caught these, or I caught some of the other fish, whenever it was, there was some fish that had some little bony protuberances on them. And a couple of people commented that they were breeding lumps and, or things like that or something, This was not like that at all. This was something growing on the fish. This was like barnacles or something. The really small specks were little white specks, looked like ick. But by the time the larger ones were probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter, maybe 4 millimeters in diameter, and they were raised and unevenly shaped, and they were like sort of gray and hard, and all of it was really sort of rough and coarse, like shark skin or sandpaper or something. It definitely looked like it had some stuff growing all over it. That fish, it was not normal looking at all. So none of that really came out on camera. When I looked at it later, it just sort of looked like a little fish in my hand, and you couldn't really see the details I was seeing. So I don't know what that was, but it was definitely not something I was going to bring home and put in my tank. And the reason I'm thinking about that, and the reason I'm bringing that up, is because these Rosyside Dace do, in fact, have those little tubercles all over them. And that is normal, and that is part of their breeding conditioning. You'll see those little bony spikes or nodules or whatever you want to call them. They're tubercles or protuberances, and that's normal. I know what they are. They're really cool. When I first saw them, I did not. I really did think maybe these little Rosyside Dace had ick on them or something, but when I looked into it and looked them up, I found out that that's not the case. And so yes, I get it that is something you see on some fish in certain circumstances, but what I saw was different, and it was not like anything I've ever seen before. It was really weird and nasty looking. It made me want to come home and wash my hands, which in fact I did. So there's your little update for Wednesday night. Again, nothing more specific tonight. I will end on saying that I'm about to do a video on my 125 gallon tank. I'm going to mess with the lighting a little bit on that tank. I know I really got to stop saying I'm thinking about shooting a video about this, that, or the other thing, because I never get around to doing it, and then I wind up promising it and never doing it, and I hate doing that. But I've actually got the lights sitting right here. It's just a matter of like setting my camera up on the tripod and doing that, and we're going to look at the way I can set up a couple different kind of lights, and we're going to see what we like best out of all that. So make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss any of that. So thanks for watching all this. Don't forget, this one is my 125 gallon native tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one.